Celie Carter. Who is Celie Carter? What's up from the UK? Across, as they say, across the pond. What's up, y'all? We back on YouTube. It's your boy Free Blanche, aka Blanche Stradamus, aka B Diddy, No Diddy. Anyway, when y'all Ali Carter, aka Tory Outlaw online. Oh, that girl. Oh, that girl. Man, that girl talking about she was sex trafficked and all that. Man, listen, man. I told y'all there is a such thing as black. I'm telling you, the world has been conditioned that when black people are on TV or in front of a microphone or on a stage crying and talking, it's believed they telling the truth. You ain't heard no black person out there talking. You thought they was lying. Even Juicy Smollett, when it was found out that he was lying, y'all just swept under the rug. But even he was believed, and his story was crazy. Anyway, that girl, the Ali Carter girl, or Ashley Carter, man, that girl been lying for years, man. She ain't got no kind of proof to substantiate nothing. If she was really telling the truth, she'd have been out of here. If she was really telling the truth, they'd have got her up out of here. Come on, man. Stop. But let me just get started, right? Let me get started. If you go to Genesis chapter 2, and we go to verse, I just saw it. It was down here. Here we go. But hold up. And the Lord, verse 16, and the Lord commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayst freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. And the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought about them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. So, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam. This is verse 21. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from the man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. There shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Now, I'm going to keep going back to that. Now, think about something. What is the purpose of a relationship? What is the purpose of a relationship? Titty Ball said the only time in history a man gave birth. What is the purpose of a relationship? The purpose of the relationship is for the man to fulfill his purpose. The relationship has nothing to do with the woman. The relationship has nothing to do with the woman. Listen to what I'm telling you. The relationship, the foundation of a relationship was God saying that it's not good for man to be alone. That is the foundation of the relationship. So the foundation of the relationship is for the man. Now, what does Adam do once God gives him a woman? What does Adam do once God gives him a woman? Adam says, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his wife, his father, and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. This is what Adam said. God didn't say this. Adam said that. So think about God saying the foundation of a relationship is for man to not be alone. The second part is, I'm going to make him a helpmate. He didn't say, I'm going to just make him a companion. He didn't just say, I'm going to just make him somebody to sleep with. He didn't just say, I'm making him somebody to argue with. He said, I'm going to make him a helpmeet. That means that not only did God create the woman so that man wouldn't be lonely, but he also created woman so that she could help the man fulfill his purpose. So the foundation of a relationship, nothing to do with women. It's all for the man. Now, what does Adam do once God gives him this helpmeet? Adam says, I am going to call this being woman because she came from man, and I'm going to give a future prophecy. Now, keep in mind, there wasn't no mothers and fathers. When this is being spoken, there are no mothers. So Adam said, in the future, he is going to leave his father and leave his mother, and he is going to cleave to his wife. And the two shall become one flesh. This is what Adam said. They said what God said. Adam said this. So what we find is that when a man has a wife, the honorable thing he's going to do is take that helpmeet that was given to him, and he's going to do what? He is going to share it with her. Notice that God created Eve specifically for Adam. Adam turned around and said, you know what? We're going to become one flesh. I won't make this just about me. We're going to become one flesh. This is what Adam said. This is what happens, ladies, when you meet an honorable man. Even though your position in his life is to help him and aid him, he is going to honor you by giving you his life. Most of y'all don't meet honorable men. You don't even understand what I'm even saying right now. This is what the honorable man is going to do. Adam could have just said, cool, from now on, the woman is to just help the man and keep him from not being lonely. He didn't say that. He said the man is going to leave his mother and his father for this woman and cling to her. And they're going to become one flesh. That is what honor does. If this woman's purpose is to dedicate her life to me, then I'm going to honor her by doing what? I'm going to honor her by us becoming one flesh. And we see this in the future where we see that the man is to love the woman like Christ loves the church. Because a woman is supposed to honor and respect the man. Out of duty, she serves her husband. Out of honor, she serves her husband. Out of respect, she serves her husband. It's not good for a woman to just love a man, because we know that when women love something, it's not always good. Women are 3 times more likely to kill over love than men. So when a woman loves a man, it's not the same as when she respects a man. When a woman respects a man, she don't try him. She don't cut up with him. But it's good for the man to love the woman, because when the man loves the woman, he will do what Adam did. He will make her his life. He will literally be what Christ is to the church. You see, the problem is when it comes to dating, we got this thing all backwards. We got it backwards because we're trying to say that the relationship is about the woman getting and the man getting. That's not what it's about. The relationship is about the man. The man makes the relationship about the woman, not the relationship itself. Let's continue. Let's continue. Oh, let me see something. Let's continue. Hold on.
I know that God is shifting my life. Oh God, when I can be beaten and still get up with oil. Now, how do I know that there are some things that God is changing? When I can be dropped, when I can be dropped by family, when I can be dropped by friends, and yet and still I have the audacity to come to church on a Thursday night to worship a God that I can't even see. It is because I recognize that there is something on my life. How do I know that there is something different in me when I can go through a season of separation? You keep trying to mix your oil with watered down people. You keep trying to mix your oil with people who are not designed to handle the heaviness of who you really are. And no matter how much you try to mix it, all of those particles will always lean to themselves. What are you trying to say? That in this season of your life, you've got to learn how to follow people who are like you.
So she said a lot of things in this clip, but this clip is really just feminism dressed up in gospel. Because the problem is that a woman's purpose, the purpose of her creation was for the man. Now, I believe that Eve loved Adam. I don't believe that she respected Adam. And that's the difference. If Eve respects Adam, she doesn't even talk to the serpent. If Eve respects Adam, she doesn't even talk to the serpent. Or she goes to Adam and said, this creature is trying to talk to me. But the problem is that women are loving these men and they're not respecting and honoring these men. That's the problem. When women love, because women love, the emotional is not the same as when a man loves. When a man loves with conviction. Women don't. Women in love, out of love, this love, I love. Men love with conviction. You meet any man and talk to him about his first love, she still got a place in his heart. Not saying he gonna go out there and try to find and nothing like that, but if a man's first, she still got a place in his heart. Men love with conviction. Men love with principle. Men love with character. Women love with emotion. So Eve, she probably loved Adam, but she showed him respect. Because there's no way she would have respected him and tried to give him the fruit. She wouldn't have did it. That's why the Bible instructs for women to respect the husband and the husbands to love the wives, because the respect for a man and the love for a woman has the same actions behind it. If that makes sense. What a man does for love is equivalent to what a woman does when she respects the man. But when a woman loves a man, it ain't the same. Like I said before, women are 3 times more likely to kill over love than men. Angie said women love with conviction, with conditions. Yes. So respect is greater than love for a man. But when it comes to a man, he has to love the woman, because when a man loves the woman because he loves with principle. You ever seen a guy that's actually in love with a woman? He doesn't even want any other women. Have you ever seen a guy in love with like he don't even want no other women? Because of that famous R. Kelly song, I can't sleep, baby. I can't eat, baby. You remember that? If any of you guys ever been in love, you already know. Remember, I was in college, man, and I remember I made a mixtape. It was 120 minutes, 60 minutes on each side. I'm dating myself. I made a mixtape. It was 120 minutes long, and it was 2 songs on there. And it was DMX, How's It Going Down, and Bob Marley's I Don't Want to Wait in Vain for Your Love. And I put them songs back to back to back to back to back to back for 120 minutes. And I was listening to it, and I was on the ground in my room with the comforter over me, like in a cocoon. And my roommate came and he said, man, what is wrong? You all right, man? What's wrong with you? I said, nothing, man. It's over. I didn't want to eat. I can't eat, baby. I can't sleep, baby. It's true. Because when a man loves with his being. That's by design. That's by design. When a woman loves, they don't love with their whole being. I don't care what the TV tell you, what the media is cap. When men love with men take a bullet, sword, slay the dragon. When a man loves, he loves with his entire being, not women. That's why it's best for women to respect the man. Because if she respects him, her actions will mimic the man's love for the woman. But the fellas know I'm talking about when they done been hurt by a woman, got their heart broke. You already know. And I remember when I was young, the OGs will tell you, the OGs said, listen, so they said, y'all come sit down and we're going to talk to y'all. Listen, one day, y'all going to meet a young lady and she going to break your heart and you're going to be sick. So you're not going to want to eat. You're not going to want to sleep. You're going to want to die. So we like, man, ain't no way. You know, we thought we was a little pimps back then. Man, we some pimps, man. We ain't finna get. Listen, when it happened to me, I was sick. Sick. Anyway, so that's why the women are to respect the men and the men to love the women.
How do I know that God is shifting my life? Oh God, when I can be beaten and still get up with oil. Now, how do I know that there are some things that God is changing? When I can be dropped, and when I can be dropped by family, when I can be dropped by friends, and yet and still I have the audacity to come to church on a Thursday night to worship a God that I can't even see. It is because I recognize that there is something on my life. How do I know that there is something different in me when I can go through a season of separation? You keep trying to mix your oil with watered down people. You keep trying to mix your oil with people who are not designed to handle the heaviness of who you really are. And no matter how much you try to mix it, all of those particles will always lean to themselves. What are you trying to say? That in this season of your life, you've got to learn how to follow people who are like you.
Again, this is how you know God is shifting in your life when you are becoming a wife without a husband. That's how we know God is in your life moving. When you are becoming a wife and there's no husband in sight. That's how we know. Not you cutting people off, people trying to hate on. No. We know that God is in your life moving when you are becoming a wife and there is no husband in sight. That's how we know God is moving. You see, they give you all these messages and these sermons, but really it's just feminism. You being empowered, you being emboldened, you doing all this stuff. No, you're not finna get to God without no man. You are not about to get to God without no man. It's not going to happen. The man finds out who God is through his life, through his walk on this earth. The woman finds out who God is through her relationship with the man. The man finds out who God is when he is walking on this earth. The woman finds out who God is when she is following a man. There's a reason why God has the order. A woman is not going to get God from this world. It's too many distractions. The world is designed to emulate Eve in the garden with the serpent. The woman is constantly being told to eat the fruit. Constantly. Women have been programmed since birth to eat the fruit. So it's almost impossible for a woman to find God without a man. So I know that God's working in your life, and I can talk to you and I say, you know what? This sounds like a wife. That's how I know God is working. All this, you got to cut people off. You got to follow people. That's all feminism. Because what she's doing is she's talking about a relationship with God without the man. Your relationship with God when the man isn't present is that of teacher and student. You being taught, you being prepared. All this bossing up, that ain't your role when the man ain't around. The greatest attributes of the women in the Bible is what they did with the men. From Mary to Martha to the Proverbs 31 woman, it's what they did with the men, not on their own. So when a woman is not with a man, her relationship with God is that of father-daughter, teacher-student, sensei-pupil, whatever you want to call it. She should be learning and preserving herself, studying and becoming a wife. All this bossing up, walking, getting followed, cutting, that ain't it. Because what that says is that you can do this without a man and you can't. Debbie said, I believe women should be silent in government. Listen, I used to be all for women's rights, all for equality, all for all of this stuff until I realized that the nature of man and women won't allow it to work. Because men and women have a nature. And what society has done is society has told you that a woman's nature, you can't understand, you can't figure out. I said, that's a lie. I know a woman's nature. Let me see if I can find it on here. I'll show you a woman's nature. I will show you a woman's nature. I will show you a woman's nature. I hope I have the video. I hope I have the video. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let me see. Nope. Oh man, it was a video. Maybe I don't have it. I can find one similar, but this one pretty much I guess not. I guess not. Well, anyway, what I wanted to show was okay. Anyway, let me go to YouTube because that's go to YouTube so I can find something. See if I can find it. See if I can find it. Here we go. This is a woman's nature right here. I got you. I got you. Just give me 1 second. I thought I had that video. This is a woman's nature. You hear the baby goat crying in the stomach? This is a woman's nature. So, and again, that is the woman's nature. Devour. The Bible says that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. That is what the woman's nature is, unchecked. Destruction. So for any man out there, when you get with a woman and you're not the head of the household, this is what happens to you. What that Komodo dragon just did is what she's gonna do to you. She's gonna, because that's her nature. Her nature is not to, think about it. You don't ever see women sparing the nice guy. They never spare the simp. Women never spare. They never spare those guys. They always torture them. Isn't it funny that I remember I used to go out to the club and the guy is nice and he try to buy one girl a drink, turn around, all the girls want a drink. That's their nature. You got a bottle in this section, a couple of bottles. What happens? All the women, it's their nature. All the women stampede to your section. Drink up all your drink, hook up all your hookah, and they gone. That's a woman's nature. So as a man, you have to know that. You got to know that I can't play around. Because if I play around, I'm going to be screaming from the inside of her stomach. If I play around with her, I'm going to be screaming from the inside of her stomach. This is a woman. This is why it's imperative that men lead. You have to set the standard. If you don't set the standard, you are going to be destroyed. We've seen this countless amounts of time. The woman don't just say, I won't have. She said, I want it all. A friend of mine, his ex-wife, she wanted everything. And so all he was being left with was his car. He had a luxury vehicle. And she said, I want that too. He said, what am I going to drive? She said, I don't care. She done got the house, the other car, the everything. This man said, what am I going to drive? She said, I don't care. That is a woman's nature. If she smells weakness, she is going to destroy you instinctively because her biological makeup says we can't allow weak men to reproduce. So anytime she meets a weak man, she is naturally going to destroy him. You've never seen these women spare the simp. You've never seen these women say, you know what? I don't mean you any good. I'm going to just let you alone and let you go find a good woman. They don't say that. They say, I'm going to bleed you and drain you dry. Then I'm going to cast you out. I don't care what happens to you. Charles said that women only respect alphas. Is true. Women don't respect. There's no woman on this earth that respects a man that does everything she says to do. Women respect no. Women don't respect yes. Women like yes, but they respect no. Write that down. Women like yes, but they respect no. So fellas, you should be exercising no with these women just out of practice. Baby, can I have some orange juice? No. Why not? I just had to say it. Keep you on your toes. I'm serious. Neek said, yep, exactly. I can sense weakness in a man. That's why when a guy comes up to a woman, he's all, unsure of himself. He's not confident. That instinctually makes them want to destroy you. It does. Let's continue. But let's continue. What is this? What's this?
Women, short north. God!
At this nursery in Reykjavik, girls are encouraged to be unapologetic and fierce. Meanwhile, the boys are getting in touch with their caring side. The idea is that they develop their personalities without the constraints of conventional gender stereotypes.
Spurði hann einhvern tímann, ætlar þú að vera Superman? Og hún alveg, nei. Ég vil vera superkona.
Iceland became the first country in the world to make it illegal to pay men more than women for the same job.
Have you ever felt, if I get pregnant, things will be hard for me at work?
No, never. I've never felt like pressure of not having kids because of my career.
Parental leave here is 12 months. Parents can split it equally, and 90% of all fathers take it. Research shows that after returning to work, they continued to be significantly more involved. But are things as perfect as they seem? About 40% of Icelandic women have been subjected to physical or sexual violence.
We have been marketed as this feminist paradise, which we are not.
We're at a vigil to remember all the Icelandic women who have been killed by men. It just shows that even in a country that is supposed to be a great place for women, things are far from perfect.
Now, I want you to think of how they ended. So the only thing that makes this place not perfect is what? Is men. It's propaganda. And again, what the devil does is the devil deals with perversion. So the devil is trying to pervert the nature of men and women. The only way for this to work is for men to just bow down. That's the only way it's going to work. Because no real man is going to want to be dominated by a woman. He's just not. If you look at most men in these sex industries that like, these fetishes where they like to be stepped on and dominated, these are weak. Like, these aren't alpha men. They're guys that want to get beat on and put in their butt and all this horrific stuff they get done to them. They're not alpha. They're not strong men. So even in the sex industry, it highlights the non-alpha man and what women do to him. Think about it. The woman is called a dominatrix. Think about what I'm telling you. Even in the sex industry, it highlights what the women do when they're the dominant position and the man is weak. They torture him stepping on them with heels and beating them and choking. Like, it's brutal. I'm just saying, that's what they do. That's the nature of a woman with a weak man. Neek says subs versus doms. Yeah. And again, because that aligns with a female's nature. It's a way bigger industry for women to beat up on men than men beat up on women. And so in this paradise of Iceland, the issue is the men are still men. That's what they're saying. This woman, big as a bread box, talking about she ain't got no pressure, not getting pregnant or getting pregnant, talking about Iceland made it illegal for men and women to get paid different wages for it don't make any sense. Like think about a job saying we're going to pay you $30 an hour. Think about it. The job says we're going to pay you $30 an hour. You go to the job and all of a sudden now you're getting paid 20. And like, when does that ever happen? That never happens. The salary for the job is $90K. But when you get to the job, now listen, you only apply for the job that was $90K. When you get the job, now you're getting paid $70. It never happens. So this notion that women are getting paid less than men doesn't make any sense. That's an easy lawsuit. The job literally says the pay is $90,000. How are you paying me $70? Don't make any sense. Anyway, it's a lie. I'll play it again.
At this nursery in Reykjavik, girls are encouraged to be unapologetic and fierce. Meanwhile, the boys are getting in touch with their caring side. The idea is that they develop their personalities without the constraints of conventional gender stereotypes.
Spurði ég hann einhvern tímann, ætlar þú að vera súpermann? Og hún alveg, nei. Ég vil vera súperkona.
I want you to think about them saying they're allowed to be children without conventional stereotypes. And my thing is, then why would you not let all the children go outside and just play? If you didn't want to confine the children to a gender, then let them go outside and play. Why do you have the boys in the room giving each other massages? You got the girls cutting down timber. If it's about non-assigned gender roles, then why would you not just let the children out there and play? Because you know what the girls will be doing and what the boys will be doing. So you have to separate them and basically tell them what to do. It's cap. It's really child abuse. It's really child abuse.
Iceland became the first country in the world to make it illegal to pay men more than women for the same job.
Have you ever?
It doesn't, that's a lie. There's no way you're going to apply for a job with a certain salary or a certain pay, and then you get there and tell you, okay, we got to pay you less than men. It's a lie. It's not happening. The job pays a certain rate. That's why it's called the job market. It's not called the job lottery. It's not called the job bell curve where we got to, no, it's called the job market for a reason, because certain professions pay this amount, period. If a woman does a heart surgery and a man does a heart surgery, they're getting paid the same. And what the enemy is clever. Now, the enemy makes you believe because they made it illegal, you think it was going on. It was never going on. Because they said this is now illegal, your mind goes back and says, you know what? They were doing this all along and they never were. Making something illegal doesn't mean it was being done. That is a trick of the devil. I'm going to make this illegal as if it was being done and it wasn't. If it's really about these children not being brought up in gender roles, then let the children go outside and play. But you can't, because you know, based on their nature, the little girls will be doing this and the boys will be doing this. And you know that. The anomalies switch sides, meaning that one girl may want to roughhouse with the boys and one boy may want to play house with the girl. That's the anomaly. The standard is the boys doing this and girls doing this without being told.
Felt, oh, if I get pregnant, things will be hard for me at work.
No, never. I've never felt like the pressure of not having kids because of my career.
Parental leave here is 12 months. Parents can split it equally, and 90% of all fathers take it. Research shows that after returning to work, they continued to be significantly more involved. But
now, I want you to look at his wife. I want you to look at this, and I'm not trying to, get on the physical appearance, but do you think she's concerned about being appealing to her husband? Do you think it even crosses her mind? Why would she even want to do a job like that? Why would she? What would even make her want to go work on a loading dock? What would even make her want to go work on a ship? What would even make her want to do that? Feminism. I'm going to prove I can do it. Do you think she respects her husband? Do you think a woman is going to respect a man that allows her to go work on the shipyard? Do you think a woman is going to respect a man that allows her to go work on a shipyard, to go swab the deck, to go be a pirate? Do you think she's not going to respect him? I can tell by how she looks physically and how she's talking that she runs the house. She got too much confidence. So I ain't worried about feeling pressure about having the children. I can do what I want to do. He look just as he out there skipping rocks. Look at him. Look at her. Look at him. He over there skipping rocks. You think he runs the house? He don't run the house. You think he run the house? He don't run the house. I can do what I want to do. I can do what I want to do. The mere fact that she wants to work on the shipyard should tell you everything. The mere fact that she's working on a shipyard should tell you everything. Those jobs on the shipyard, on the dock, on the crane, in the tunnel, on the oil rig, those jobs are reserved for women with high testosterone and low amounts of facial hair. Those jobs are reserved for women who don't deal with men. But imagine a woman doing back-breaking labor and then coming home. He got to cook the food. First thing she gonna say is, "Give me a beer, I'm tired." She ain't coming home being ladylike and romantic. "Give me a beer, I'm tired. What we having for dinner?" The kids don't run to dad, say, "Look what I did." The kids run to mommy, "Look what I did, mom." She's like, yeah, whatever. Where my beer at? That's how she is at home. Wish I would. I wish I would. You wrong, Blanche. You wrong. You don't know what kind of relationship they got. This is one of the rappers Kamala Harris used to appeal to young Black Americans. Shout out to the right-winged Angel. Great content. This is Glorilla. This is the one that got to meet with the president. Vice President Kamala Harris. This is Glorilla. Just show you how she acts.
How have you been?
I've been great. How about you?
You're killing it out there.
Thank
you having
you.
fun?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Are you excited? I'm excited for you.
Excited. So I'm in a zone. You know how it is when you're in a zone. So.
If he right here with me, turned up with my sister, turned up in my show, yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you why these artists are propaganda. I took a picture of it. I was on iTunes and they were selling Glorilla's album for $4.99. I was on iTunes and they were selling Glorilla's album, her latest album, for $4.99. Now you can say Blanche is all about streams, but selling your album for $5 tells me everything. So Glorilla's latest album is on iTunes right now for $4.99. What does that tell you? All of this is propaganda around these artists, because you notice it ain't the music. This is why these artists are being so ratchet, is because nobody's buying the music. They have to do it themselves. So what they're doing is they have to act out their songs constantly.
We beat it up like a gorilla. She gon' ride, she gon' rail. I had to help myself. I got on it like I want it. She rode the beat like a pony. Cameras up.
If you look behind, there was a boogeyman in that closet. He tried to come out, they closed the door up. Go look. There was a boogeyman in the closet. He tried to come out. They shut the door on him.
I got on it like I want it. She rode the beat like a pony. Cameras up.
How have you been?
I've been great. How about
You're
you?
killing it out there. You
Thank
having fun?
you. Yes.
Yes, you are.
Are you excited? I'm excited for you.
Excited. So I'm in a zone. You know how it is when you're in a zone. So.
If he right here with me, turned up with my sister, turned up in my show, yeah.
So again, this is what they're trying. They're not selling you the music because no one is buying the music. They're selling you the artist. And what the artist is selling you is how to not be a wife, how to not get a righteous man. All of this propaganda is for that these women make themselves so undesirable that an honorable man is not going to want to be with them. Because the bigger picture is this global agenda. The bigger picture is they don't want families. They don't want men willing to die for their families, their wife, and their children. So the goal is keep them separate. The goal is to make women undesirable. So now when it comes time to fight, the man's going to say, well, what am I fighting for? For them? For that? That's the goal. Let's continue.
Your age?
21. 21.
What's the most unattractive thing in a man?
If they're here.
But you're here too.
I'm here to have a good time. They're here to fuck bitches.
And you're not here looking for dick?
Nope. I'm just here to have a good time.
So if you met an attractive man and y'all had a good conversation.
Thank you. This is in the way. Hey, we're ready. What's the questions?
What's your name?
I'm Key.
And you?
Brady.
Why do you think it's appropriate to just run up in our interview mid-conversation?
I ain't gonna lie, they white and I don't give a fuck. A whole page.
Are you just looking for attention?
No, never. I never gave a fuck. We want to be fun and come up in the video. No.
But if I'm in the middle of a conversation with two people.
I'm sorry, y'all. He feel disrespected. I'm
Did you have a problem with it? And then I'm good. What? So what's the problem now? What's the problem now?
I mean,
we're girls.
What do you think the men watching this are gonna think about you two?
Nigga, eat my dick.
Hey, everybody loves a hoe. I had never seen a hoe get turned down or a hoe not wife. So.
So this is why liberals are dangerous, because liberals enable this black behavior. Liberals enable black culture. These white girls got insulted and then wanted to be their friends. They got insulted and then the man asked them, why do you feel it's appropriate for you to interrupt their interview? And they said, because they're white. Could you imagine if some white girls try to interrupt some black girls giving an interview? I mean, they would get beat and stomped into oblivion. But could you imagine what they would be saying online? We told y'all they hate us. We told y'all they still racist. We told y'all they... In case y'all haven't noticed, all of the racial stuff on social media is coming from one side. All the racial stuff on social media is coming from one side.
What's your age?
21.
What's the most unattractive thing in a man?
If they're here,
But you're here too.
I'm here to have a good time. They're here to fuck bitches.
And you're not here looking for dick?
Nope. I'm just here to have a good time.
So if you met an attractive man and y'all had a good conversation.
Black bitches in the way. Hey. We're ready. What's the questions?
What's your name?
I'm Key.
And you?
I'm Brady.
Why do you think it's appropriate to just run up in our interview mid-conversation?
I ain't gonna lie. They white and I don't give a fuck. A whole can't be me.
Are you just...
So you heard the black girl say, now keep in mind, they're trying to tell you that America is racist. I want you to think about this for a second. They're trying to tell you that black people have the hardest time in America. But yet every time you cut on social media, black people are doing the most cutting up. So I'm asking myself, well, if America is racist, then what is y'all consequence? Like if America, you're saying is racist, okay, well, what is the consequence for y'all bad behavior? I don't see any whips. I don't see any chains. I don't see any nooses. I don't see any lynch mobs. I don't see nothing to curtail this black behavior. If America is racist, please point me to the consequences. This girl, the guy asked, why do you feel it's appropriate to interrupt the interview? She said, because they white. Do you all understand that if black people are in charge, it's going to be death, destruction, and damnation? I don't care how you feel about white people. If black people, when white folks have been in charge, y'all been able to live y'all best life. Y'all been under white supervision. Y'all come up with black girl magic, black queen, goddess, all the great titles y'all giving yourself came under the white leadership. If black people are in charge, I'm gonna say this. If black folks run everything, it is not going to be pleasant. If you don't believe me, just look at every place that black folks run and tell me where it's run correctly. Because here goes the argument. Well, white people do it too. Well, if white people do it too, and you're doing what they do, then what makes you different than white people? Then if white and black are doing the same thing, then why do we have this whole race division in the first place? If you're telling me that you behave the same way as white people, then what is all the fuss about if y'all are both doing the same things? Oh, I get it. It's good when you do it, just not when they do it. What's good for the goose is not good for the gander.
Looking for attention?
No,
Never. I never gave a fuck.
We want to be funny. Come over the video.
But if I'm in the middle of a conversation with two people,
I'm sorry, y'all. He feel disrespected. I'm
Did you have a
blown.
problem with it? What? So what's the problem now? What's the problem now?
I mean,
we're girls.
what do you think the men watching this are gonna think about you two?
Fuck about the niggas.
Nigga, eat my dick.
Hey, everybody loves a hoe. I had never seen a hoe get turned down or a hoe not wife. So,
and you all believe that these black women are anomalies. This is white liberal women. Maybe one is not white. She might be something else, but she liberal. And black queens. White liberals and black queens got the same mindset. Don't let, because they ain't acting ratchet, fool you. They have the same mindset as these girls. How do we know this? They didn't walk off. They got insulted and stayed because they like this. Because to them, this is how black women act, is this. They share the same mind. Feminist, decadent, unfit for a husband. This is not an anomaly. This is the attitude and spirit of the majority of black women and a lot of other women, liberal. See, when you don't respect a man, you don't have respect, period. Write that down too. When a woman doesn't respect a man, she doesn't have respect, period. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's continue. What is this right here? What's this one?
Pop my balloon because there's like no physical.
Oh no. We already played that one. Hold up.
Library, I heard you say one of your initial classes, one of the first classes you had, you noticed that it was predominantly non-Black women who were going in there studying Black men.
I started teaching a Black male course because it was needed. You know, I'm looking at these young brothers who were getting accepted, and a lot of them were, you know, dropping out. A lot of them really didn't have any support structure on how to navigate college. So I created this class alongside a student group for Black males and began to implement that. And early on, what I found was I had more Black women than men, which, you know, numerically is no surprise. That tends to be the case anyway, as far as the enrollment in school. My initial training in my doctorate was as a feminist. I hadn't dealt with gender prior to my doctorate. So I came in with that framework. The only way I knew how to deal with gender was through kind of what she taught me. So I'm teaching this Black male class using this approach I got in grad school, and I'm watching the numbers of Black males dwindle. I'm seeing the Black males in my class looking at the ground, just kind of disconnected. And I'm seeing the women more and more excited. And what I realized was that it was becoming a class where the young ladies were using me to finger wag at the men. So when I started to actually ask the men what their perspectives were, and I started to kind of change the narrative, and after a couple of years, I noticed the number of Black women dropped dramatically. The number of Black males started to increase. Within the next couple of years after that, I noticed I started to get this population of white women.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were there. And when I began to kind of ask them, you know, in the hallways and
so let me just say this. This guy's obviously a professor of some sorts, but I can tell you right now that his class is some woke nonsense. His class is not about really empowering quote unquote Black men. It's not none of that. It's about making excuses for why you are where you are. And I guarantee the white man this and the power structure that. So we know that his class is basically based on beta male behavior. Like I said before, most interracial couples are liberals. Most interracial couples are liberals because you think about it, if a white woman or a woman of another race likes a Black man, the average Black man is a beta. He's liberal. He's a beta. He's Democrat. He don't have authority. So that the average black man is what a woman that is conservative would not be attracted to. So by default, white women or other women go after black men, they're already liberal, because there's no way you'd want to go after a guy like that unless you were a liberal woman. A conservative woman that would want a man that was strong, that was fearless, that was confident, that was going to guide and provide and assume all the responsibility. That type of guy, a liberal woman would not be attracted to. She wouldn't want to be with him. Well, she might be attracted to him, but she wouldn't actually want to be in a relationship with him. But so this guy's course, the fact that, you know, black men are in the course lets you know what it is. It's a course to pacify black men's weakness.
Why are you taking this class? And I started to find, oh well, my boyfriend is, and I want to understand him and his family, or I'm trying to date some of the men on the basketball team or football team or whatever, but I don't understand them. So they were doing research. They're getting A's. It's a weird thing where I got to give A+ to white women in a class on black males because they are handling all the homework assignments and reading everything to a T. They're asking me about the citations that were made by the author. I'm like, good Lord, but they were serious. And I would say, another 3 or 4 years after that, I noticed the population shifted from, white women to Latina. And the Latinas were coming in with the same kind of intensity, the same kind of questions, the same motivation.
You're literally telling me that you had a class that was dedicated to black men, where black women have an opportunity to study their men, understand what they're going through, understand how to relate to them better. And instead of us doing that, you have other women of other ethnic groups, other races going in, taking note, using that as ammo to get the quote unquote best men out there. Yeah. So it's like, how can you compete with that? This is based upon what you just said. It's like, this is why they are winning our men. If that is such a big complaint, this is why these other women, white women, Latinas, Asians, this is why they are winning or stealing, however you want to put it, our men, because they're actually interested in their interest.
And again, she has some good content, but she liberal woke too. So anyway, how to understand a black man is the one thing. Don't give him excuses. If you really want to understand a black man, take away his excuses and see how he responds. If he responds with, okay, I'm a do, then that's a good man. But if he responds with more complaints and more crying, you know what it is. Most black men suffer from excuses. They make excuses. They don't want to be accountable. They don't want to grow up. It's most black men. Most black men suffer from too many excuses. They don't have any resiliency. Anytime temptation comes along their path, they always fall for it. Somebody put some drugs in their hand, they got to sell it. They got to smoke it. If a girl offers sex, they got to do it. Like, black men have no kind of resiliency. They can't say no to nothing. And the reason why I like that is because they can always say it's because of racism. The reason why I can't control myself is because of racism. So when a black man's a whoremonger, it's because we used to be kings. We had a whole bunch of wives. If a black man can't work, it's because white men won't give him a job. It's always an excuse. So if you really want to understand a black man, take away his excuses and see his response. Go to the black man and say, I don't care nothing about the white man or racism. What are you going to do? And I guarantee he going to nut up. What you mean? What I'm going to do? We was a thing before. So like any smart woman, if they can find a cheat code to get a man, they're going to use it. And so these other races of women, the cheat code to get the black man is easy. Easy. Tell him you understand his struggle. It's like the black man, for as much as they want to say about black men, the black man is simple, primitive, and easy to get. Hey, King, I understand you, King. You're so wonderful. You got the black. 90% of black men, you will get them hooked by calling him a king. He ain't earned it. He don't deserve it. Don't matter. Call him a king, you don't get him. You want to understand the black man? Take away his excuses and watch his response. Tell the black man, I don't want to hear any excuses. And see what happens. No discipline, JV Chanel. No discipline. Cowardice. Foolishness. This man made a course about how to understand black men, and I guarantee it's some nonsense. First day of class, I write on the board, no excuses. If you mention the white man, or racism, or systemic oppression, or social justice in my class, you're gonna fail. In this class, we're gonna operate as it is. Ain't no racism. It'll be a class on deconstructing all these excuses, all these lies. Class on understanding the black man. For what? Ain't nothing to understand. Stop making excuses. Miss Tiffany said, play to his emotion. You got him. Yeah. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. Black man is weak. And even the guy said, think about what he said in the beginning. Watch this.
White woman, Latina.
A black male course because it was needed. You know, I'm looking at these young brothers who were getting accepted, and a lot of them were, you know, dropping out. A lot of them really didn't have any support structure on how to navigate college. So I created this class alongside a student group for black males and began to implement that. And early on, what I found was I had more black women than men, which, you know, numerically is no surprise. That tends to be the case anyway, as far as the enrollment in school. My initial training in my doctorate was as a feminist. I hadn't dealt with gender prior to my doctorate. So I came in with that framework. The only way I knew how to deal with gender was through kind of what she taught me. So I'm teaching this black male class using this approach I got in grad school, and I'm watching the numbers of black males dwindle. I'm seeing the black males in my class looking at the ground, just kind of disconnected. And I'm seeing the women more and more excited. And what I realized was that it was becoming a class where the young ladies were using me to finger wag at the men. So when I started to act.
So initially his course was from the feminist perspective. Men are bad, all this stuff. And then he switched the course to make black men the victims. The reason why the class population went up in black men is because he played to their emotions. I understand you being a victim. I understand your excuses. Don't let me have a course, because y'all gonna be upset with me. I'm gonna say ain't no racism, ain't no mythical white ghost running around making your life miserable. You are weak. First day, it's gonna be you are weak. And we're going to start from there. Because you're going to ask, well, how am I weak? You're weak because your whole life is a construct. You see, black men talking about they strong based on what they believe somebody went through 400 years ago. How in the world can what somebody went through 400 years ago do anything with you? That don't mean you strong. Based on what you all say gets passed down through the trauma, through the DNA or through the genetics, none of the good stuff gets passed down. So I'm going to assume that whatever was coming from back then to now, it was y'all weak. It's funny how when it comes to all of this stuff, only the bad stuff gets passed, nothing good gets passed down. Hard work don't get passed down. Being able to create something don't get passed down. Being able to build don't get passed down. Intelligence don't get, nothing good gets passed down, only bad stuff. You know why? Because everybody wants an excuse. So the first day of class for black men is you are weak, and you've been weak for quite some time. Ain't no way in the world you're going to listen to a man come and tell you that the white man is holding you back. MLK went and talked to the whole nation. We got to go beg white folks for money. MLK didn't say, let's build cities. MLK didn't say, let's build a nation. MLK didn't say, let's build communities. MLK didn't say, let's level the playing field. He said, let's go beg the white man for money. And black folks ran with it. The black man is weak. If you go back and pull the tape from all these black men talking, 99% of them got an excuse. Tell them I said it. They weak. So, if you notice, they're playing a psychological game on you men. They're just showing y'all big woman after big woman after big woman in hopes that you say, you know what, I don't want a woman in shape. Now, you all do know if society collapses tomorrow, all these big women are going to be food for zombies. You understand what I'm telling you? If we're in a society and it's post-apocalyptic and one of these big girls are running and they get hurt, who is going to save them? Think about from a survival standpoint, who's going to save you if you 290 pounds and you fall on the ground and hurt your ankle? And it's going to take 2 or 3 people to carry you. You're going to get left. And we look at all of the movies dealing with werewolves and vampires and monsters and all this. If you big, you toast. In a zombie apocalypse, these women are going to be food. It's unacceptable. How are you overweight and obese in college? How are you? Think about what I'm telling you. College is 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. How are you big? How are you big? And again, it's not about you being big. It's about them promoting you being big. It's one thing for you to be overweight and obese. It's another thing for them to say that's what it's supposed to be. That's the issue. Don't hit and run, just please been back. Please been back. We are not done, so please been back. Please been back. We do this for fun, but he ain't no
wreck. Now we out here looking for a toe tag. They was 4 deep, but I had one. Got my gun, so please spin back, please spin back. I have my gun when they try to attack. Please spin back. Don't hit and run, just please spin back. Please spin back. We are not done, so please spin back. Please spin back. We do this for fun, but he ain't no wreck. Now we out here looking for a toe tag. They was 4 deep, but I had one.
And K-Mac said it's right. There are a lot of dudes who giving them attention, even though they are big like that. Why would they change? Exactly. There is no incentive to change. Because the men don't have any, think about it now. Black men don't have any standards. So black women really don't have to do anything. They don't. This is why they can be used for all the agendas, because what are black men going to say? They don't have any standards. So he's right. K-Mac is right.
I got my gun, so please spin back.
K-Mac is right. K-Mac is right. And you notice when and this is the funny thing about all the women groups. You notice that when it comes to these big girls, it's always sexual. It's like a fetish. They never present these women in non-sexual ways. So women have been fighting for the longest to quote unquote be seen as people and not sexual objects. But when it comes to the big women, it's always sexual. Lizzo is always showing y'all her butt. It's always sexual. How come it's never them in a suit? How come it's always them with their stomach hanging out and their butt hanging out? Why? Why when it comes to big women, it's never classy? I'll tell you why, because the purpose of it is not for class. The purpose of it is to fetishize these big women so that you look at them as a fetish that you want to be with. These big girls ain't holding out. These big girls is doing everything the other girls is doing. These big girls ain't demure women and at home being preserved. They're doing the same thing the other girls doing. They're just as nasty, just as freaky. Just as nasty, just as freaky. What is this right here?
My seat. Don't make me get up out my seat. Carry. Don't make me get up out my seat. Carry. Don't make me get up out my seat. I carry. I carry. I carry. I carry. When I grow up, I'm gon' buy me a make love in the stay up late in this. Don't give a about my then get the about my 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 house. I grew up in this house. I grew up in this house.
Alabama State University honeybees. Again, it's all sexual. It's like they're trying to sell you something. They're not selling you a woman being a woman. They're not selling you class. Baby for Life said, dance for 8 counts and sit for 16. It's true though. It's all sexual. They're not saying respect these women because they women. It's all sexual. There's no different than these big girls and what Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion and Sexy Red and Lotto and Glorilla and Sukiyana and all. There's no different than what they do. There's no difference. The only difference is that when the other girls do it, you call it ratchet. But when these big girls do it, you call it virtuous. Ooh, look at the big girls doing. They're doing the same thing. They all selling sex. You just made one virtuous.
Church needs to teach everyone that God doesn't make mistakes. We are all God's children. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jesus would be attending the Pride Parade. In fact, I think Jesus would be the Grand Marshal of the Pride Parade.
This is the modern woman. Today's title is Eve, Jezebel, and the Modern Woman. This is the modern woman. And the modern woman was created by men because men were weak. Men were weak. Sonny is married. She has a husband. What type of household does she have if she's saying that Jesus would be leading a pride parade? She runs the house. She runs the house. They ended my live because I had some music on there. But she runs the house.
The church needs to teach everyone that God doesn't make mistakes. We are all God's children. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jesus would be attending the Pride Parade. In fact, I think Jesus would be the Grand Marshal of the Pride Parade.
I don't have to ask what type of man her husband is. I don't have to inquire what type of, I can already tell. Somebody asked about Candace Owens. I can tell the way Candace Owens talks, and I like Candace Owens, but I can tell by the way she talks that her man ain't no alpha dude. He ain't no alpha male. He ain't no, he's not.
Stopped you today is because your tag, your license plate has been expired since 2013. When I run it, it shows to have been got suspended in 2014. That's the reason for the stop.
My question was, what's your emergency? Do you have an emergency? Is there a articulable cause for concern? Why did you pull me over if there's no emergency?
That's why. It's your suspended license plate.
So you don't have an emergency? I would love to help you if you have an emergency.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
I would love to help you if you have an emergency, sir.
Yes, ma'am. It's a traffic stop. It's not an emergency. Do you have a driver's license with you?
Well, are you making any assumptions or presumptions here today?
I can't hear you still.
Are you making any assumptions or presumptions here today?
Ma'am, I just need to see your driver's license.
Well, you're under the assumption that I drive.
Am I what?
You're under the assumption that I drive.
Okay. Do you have a driver's
What's your
license?
articulable reason for stopping me?
Okay. Do you have a driver's license with you today or an ID? Any form of identification?
I don't drive, I travel, sir.
What's up, ma'am?
I don't drive, I travel.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license or
I don't drive, so do I have to show you any kind of driver's license? I have you on camera saying that I, by law, have to show you a driver's license.
That's correct. Yes, ma'am. You do.
That's kind of inaccurate. Can you call your supervisor? And are you familiar? And are you familiar?
Yes. Again, I just wanted to show this as a lack of respect for authority. Yes, Sonny Holston's husband is a part of some. He's being indicted for insurance fraud. He was accused of insurance fraud. Orthopedic surgeon Dr. Emmanuel Holston was accused of insurance fraud in a major lawsuit. Of course, Sonny said he's innocent, but orthopedic surgeon Dr. Emmanuel Manny Holston and his practice, Holston Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, were named among more than 180 defendants in a major RICO case filed in New York last month. According to Daily Mail, Holston and other defendants were allegedly receiving kickbacks for performing surgeries and fraudulently billing the insurance company that provides for Uber, Lyft drivers, as well as taxi companies. The lawsuit alleges that Holston was given an investment interest in the Empire State Ambulatory Surgery Center while receiving a steady stream of patients' referrals in return. Holston's attorney told Daily Mail his client denies all the allegations and called the filing a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near bankrupt insurance carrier. You can just tell by her husband how he looks that he's just a soft guy. He's just soft. But yeah, I played this video because this lady in this car, I just want to show like just the lack of respect for authority and what happens. Clearly your tags have been expired for over a decade, and but then they're going to say racism. They're going to say racism. This the sovereign citizen.
This morning is an
This is how they've been portraying black women in films for the past 50 years.
What happened this morning is an outrage. My boy's no criminal. He and those children belong in school, not back out on the street. The fascist part. Our kids don't deserve this. Some of those children are smart. They're just discouraged about what chances they got out there. What kind of jobs they got waiting for them. Now what kind of chance do they have? He don't care, they his kid. He insulted the black football coach. The man's gone crazy. He's declared war on his own people.
I remind you, Miss Barrett, that Mr. Clark was nice enough to come to this emergency meeting after a very trying day.
That's what he gets paid for.
I think we owe him a chance to respond.
They've been portraying black women in Hollywood as combative, outspoken, not taking any like this has just been the blueprint of feminism. If you go back and watch all the movies and all the shows, this has truly been the blueprint for feminism. It's black women looking at how black women have responded to everything. Can't tell them what to do. They run the house, they run the community, they speak, standing up in meetings, they talking to men like they want to talk, fighting men. This is what they've been the blueprint. Now her son is a knucklehead, terrorizing the neighborhood, but she mad at Clark. Very symbolic, where they say art imitates life, or does life imitate art? Let me go to, you know what, hold on one second.
Thing about black men?
Nothing. Black men suck. They're bad. They cheat. They don't care. I'm with the white boys.
What's your favorite thing about black men?
Nothing.
Why is that?
I don't like black men. Not very many meet my standards.
What's your favorite thing about black men?
Nothing. they're just terrible.
Even when you just said that, because I'm thinking about the guest that we just had, she admitted that, you know, her father wasn't a productive father, which I guess justify why she is allowed to say negative things about black men. It's okay for black women to say stuff like that. Like, you know, they will critique a lot of black men sometimes with, oh, you must hate your mother. Like, we get that a lot. You must hate your mother.
Well, they say that to me. I must hate my mom.
Yeah, like
black women accountable.
When black women have these negative thoughts about black men, nobody says you must hate your father. And it's clearly true.
Yeah.
That one experience can cause you to have a whole hatred towards men. And for some reason that's valid. But when a black man is not allowed to have that same experience with his mom.
I was hoping that the video had that lady in there that was talking in the pink. But let me see if I can find her video. Because she talks about, you know, and really, when we talk about holding black women accountable, what we're talking about truly is feminism. Because that's what it is in a nutshell, it's feminism. Let me just go. I got to come back and look through this. I got to come back.
I don't know which black homophobic woman need to hear this, but gay man is not your enemy. It's that nigga that's quick to beat you, but will think twice before he marry you. He was only with you because he was taught to be, not because he wants to be. Y'all the first ones to use the F word, but complain when the white man call you the N word. Protect black women, but you fail to protect your kids from drugs, charges, and a low credit score. But I guess as long as they straight, that's okay, right? Maybe if you get out the field and get in a bag, a man will value you more than just a hole to lay his kids in. Bitch.
Now, y'all been advocating for these LGBTQs this entire time. Y'all been marching with them. Y'all been fighting with them. Y'all been holding hands with them. Y'all done compromised relationships with them. And then when they get their chance to talk about y'all, this is how they feel. When they get their chance, they don't say thanks for helping us out. They don't say thanks for supporting us. Don XL said he right, though. He wasn't too far off. He ain't too far off.
And I don't know which black homophobic woman need to hear this, but gay man is not your enemy. It's that nigga that's quick to beat you, but will think twice before he marry you. He was only with you because he was taught to be, not because he wants to be. Y'all the first ones to use the F word, but complain when the white man call you the N word. Protect black women, but you fail to protect your kids from drugs, charges, and a low credit score. But I guess as long as they straight, that's okay, right? Maybe if you get out the field and get in a bag, a man will value you more than just a hole to lay his kids in. Bitch.
So the irony, though, is they see it too. The irony is that you all's allies, dear black women, they see y'all too, though. Don't think they listen. They may play with y'all and kiki with y'all and do all that, but they see it too. They see it too. And I told y'all, the LGBTQs don't like y'all. Y'all are competition. Y'all understand that? Y'all have always been competition. See, he's imitating his mother. I wanted to
You behaving that way, you grown-ass racist.
Look at me. I'm a racist baby. Go, go, gaga, 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 mama, gaga, mama, 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 mama.
Away from me.
Solange.
Don't.
Help me, Belinda. help me, Belinda.
My name is Belinda. Belinda.
What? Dear Black people, do you realize that you all can't make any good art? You know that? Do you realize that the only art that you all can make that folks still won't watch has to deal with racism? Black people make the worst art, and it's because the art is based on a lie. It's not really art imitating life, it's art imitating a lie. You look at most Black films and projects, it's trash. They got this new movie that's out. They say it's supposed to be a good Black film. I guarantee it's based in race, and I guarantee it's trash. It's a movie of the year. The Black film is the great. I said, I know it's trash. What's this movie called? Did anybody know? What's it? Anybody know what this movie is called? It's on Netflix. It's foolish. But again, the Hollywood movement, they notice they always put Black women overcoming some. It's all strategic. The Black woman is always fighting and being strong. She's always, overcoming, and she's always sacrificing. Like it's a bunch of propaganda to make people believe that Black women can survive in this world without men, and it's cap. It's a series of numbers. I really wanted that video. Let me go to, I'll come back to that. I gotta. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL. Los Angeles, together is how we will get through this. Through the heroism of our firefighters, the vigilance.
Now, Karen Bass was reading, and instead of saying the website, she said URL. Now, this could be chalked up as a simple mistake, but the issue is it's preceded by a lot of things that let you know that Karen Bass was a DEI hire. And a DEI hire doesn't have to just mean you got hired. Folks actually vote under DEI too. So they voted for her because she was a black woman, not because she was qualified. So even DEI extends beyond the job market or workplace. It even goes into voting. Black folks have mastered voting for someone just based on how they look. And most liberals have as well. But Karen Bass said it can be found at the URL, and she's supposed to say the website. But again, no one cares, because anytime you want to criticize her, it's because she is a black woman.
Something. She's got a spine of steel. Yes. And she's also been a black woman in America a very long time. So none of this is new to her. We are mad because we're tired of it. We're tired for her. But we're mad for her, and we're going to stand. Listen, I don't know how you here, but I'm happy you're here. Because somebody needs to
stand, behind her and support her. Because how she handling it, you can see it in her face. She stays calm. But think about this. She has the city to take care of. She does not have time to hear from these reporters.
She is also not mayor of every municipality in California. Yes. There are people that are mad that she didn't fix the fires in Malibu. She's not the mayor of Malibu.
You're right.
What is she supposed to do in a city she's not the mayor of?
Anytime there is a crisis, black people are useless. Useless. I'm sorry. People are losing their lives, losing their homes, lives being destroyed, and they're talking about racism. What has Karen Bass gone through in her life if she's the mayor of Los Angeles? What has she gone through? Take me along the journey of what Karen Bass had to endure. How did a black woman make it from being the most oppressed group in America to being the mayor of Los Angeles? Explain it to me. How did she do it? They're selling you a narrative that doesn't make any sense. What has she gone through as a black woman if she's the literal mayor of Los Angeles? You don't go from sharecropper to mayor of Los Angeles. You don't go from janitor to mayor of Los Angeles. So please explain to me the path she took to be a mayor.
People don't understand.
And let me say this too. I can imagine how much it would hurt to see this happening in the city that she loves. That's first. So take away how it feels for people to attack her. She's heartbroken because this is happening in her city, a city that she loves.
And the people don't understand. They don't understand how large it is, because a lot of people are sitting in other parts of the city. They're not in it. They're not in the fire. They're not in the smoke. They don't see. They're not there. They're watching TV. Why? And they want to blame someone. This is not the time to blame. It's time to get some resources. She has reached out far. We have planes coming in from other countries to help us. This is not the time. I need everybody to remain calm, be vigilant, support the leadership, support Karen Bass. That's all I can say. You cannot. This is not the time. Oh, y'all done got me upset.
She's had a great response so far to the fires.
Absolutely a great. She has done what she's had to do. She's jumped in there, and she's got.
We have fires every year, and I don't remember in the 30 years almost that I've lived in LA, I've never seen everybody react like this to the mayor and blame.
Well, ladies, I know you all have short memories, because black folks have short memories. If you remember, she was in Ghana when this was happening. She wasn't in the country. Remember, ladies, she wasn't here. She didn't rush back. Remember, ladies? That's why she wasn't here. This is the largest fire ever. This fire made history. She wasn't here, ladies. This is what they want you all to follow. This is feminism. Under no circumstances do we hold black women accountable, and then women, period, for that matter. In the last fires they had, it was blaming Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom has been getting blamed for a lot. So y'all keep forgetting that the governor's getting blamed, and she's under the governor, she's going to get blamed as well. Imagine you saying, I want all the power, all the authority, I want the position, but I don't want the responsibility.
One person for a natural disaster.
Yes.
I've never seen it. Now, what's different this time? Interesting, isn't
You
it?
said that. Amen, sister.
But I blame the men, though. I blame black men. I blame liberal white men, even some conservative white. I blame men because what men said was, we want to have access to sex, so we are going to allow women to cut up. And that's exactly what has happened. That is exactly what has happened.
Listen to this idiot.
Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL.
At URL. She is too stupid to be the mayor of Los Angeles. She is too stupid to be in public office. You failed, madam. You failed. You failed to prepare for the crisis. And then when your country and your city needed you, what did you do? Oh, you took the fastest route home with no layovers on a military plane? Great. And when you got there, you were too dumb to realize that URL was a placeholder and then to actually look to your team and say, what is the URL? What is the web address? You are a moron. And I am sorry for our friends in Los Angeles who don't deserve this. I realize they voted for this woman, but I'm going to assume they thought she had two nickels to rub together in between her ears. Live and learn.
Now, this is Megyn Kelly. And because Megyn Kelly said what she said, she's going to be called racist. But they can't tell you what she just said was racist. She didn't mention her color. She didn't mention her race. She didn't mention skin tone. She didn't mention background. She specifically said that she's an idiot. And people want to call her racist. So if a white person calling her out as racist, and a black person calling her out as him being a sellout, and the media calling her out as him being unbiased because she's black, then what you're essentially saying is she can't be held accountable. That's the purpose. The purpose is for women to not be held accountable, because if a woman isn't held accountable, we learned earlier, what is a woman's nature? It is to destroy. It is to destroy.
Listen to this idiot.
Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL.
At URL. She is too stupid to be the mayor of Los Angeles. She is too stupid to be in public office. You failed, madam. You failed. You failed to prepare for the crisis. And then when your country and your city needed you, what did you do? Oh, you took the fastest route home with no layovers on a military plane? Great. And when you got there, you were too dumb to realize that URL was a placeholder and then to actually look to your team and say, what is the URL? What is the web address? You are a moron. And I am sorry for our friends in Los Angeles who don't deserve this. I realize they voted for this woman, but I'm going to assume they thought she had two nickels to rub together in between her ears. Live and learn.
And I can tell that she did not read this speech before. Just imagine how comfortable she is. I don't have to proofread. I don't have to pre-read. I can just go there and just talk like this. There's no accountability. You mean to tell me you're about to speak for the first time on the biggest fire in California history, and you don't have the decency to just read over what's been prepared for you? Imagine the amount of non-accountability you have to not even read over what you're going to address the public with. Like, it's insane. I like Megyn Kelly. I like her. Because she going to tell the truth. No one ain't going to call her racist. These conservative white people, they really have courage. Conservative white people have courage. Because they don't, no matter what they say, they're going to be called racist. A conservative white person that has a platform, at any moment, their career could be ruined. Just from telling the truth. They actually have it harder. Black folks can say anything and nothing's going to happen. Most oftentimes praise.
Super inspired. She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity. People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough. Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job. They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team. The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community. That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that that was an opportunity for me.
Miss Tiffany, yes, Miss Tiffany, U.S. black conservatives have it hard as well. But I was just talking about, yes, they do. The black conservative and the white conservative suffer the same fate. Mainly because, so the white conservative is attacked by the white libtard and the Bliggities. The black conservative is attacked mostly by the Bliggities, and then secondly by the white libtards. So yes, both the white conservative and black conservative do have it hard because they are deemed as either racist or sellouts. The LA fire chief is talking about her goal of diversity. Think about this. She's saying she wants more women to be firefighters. But not one person has ever asked her, well, ma'am, do you have the numbers on how many women actually want to be firefighters? Okay, I understand you want them to be more women firefighters, but actually, how many women actually want to do it? See, the problem is they're trying to create a demand that doesn't exist. Women don't want to be firefighters. Period. Women don't want to get in fields but have to risk their life. Period. The average woman does not want to risk her life to make money. Period. That's it. So how are you going to get a bunch of women who don't want to be firefighters to be firefighters? I'll tell you. You're going to give them things like a signing bonus, help them get a home, pay them extra. You're going to basically show them privilege on the job. You're going to basically do for them what you accuse men of doing that you couldn't prove. The only way to get women to want to be firefighters is to incentivize them to do it. So you're literally going to give them more things than you would give the men. But then you're going to justify it in the name of diversity. This is why the white liberal is dangerous, because the white liberal affirms black culture. The white liberal puts the stamp of approval on everything that black folks are doing. Let's look up how many women want to be firefighters. Over the past decade, the number of female firefighters has increased. Statistics from the 2020 U.S. Fire Department profile indicated that there are approximately 90,000 female firefighters in the country, equating to 9% of all firefighters. The vast majority, 72,400 of these female firefighters, hold volunteer positions. So the actual amount of female firefighters is 25,000 total. So out of 336,000, this is taken back in 2022, out of 336,874 people, 4.4% of firefighters are women. Out of 336,874 firefighters, 4.43% are women, 95.6% are men. So again, the majority of women, the vast majority of women do not want to be firefighters. The only way to make it happen is to give the female firefighters more than you would give the men. That's the only way. And they're still going to perform poorly. Who was Larry from the previous show? Larry. We have one more video.
You don't have to be in front of me. Just like, be like, what? Back up! Put your phone in your purse and hold it with your hands down on the phone.
Day, I would play it cool, but I can't now, 'cause I want you. See, I'm hooked on how you flex your style, and I wanna talk for a little while. I never really seen you take, but I must admit that I kinda like.
So, and again, this is what it's all about. It's all about wanting to be seen, wanting to stun. It's not about nothing. These women are not doing all of this stuff for a family. This is why in the beginning I stated that the relationship is for the man, not the woman. God said that it's not good for man to be alone, so he created a woman. God's motivation for creating a woman was the man not being alone. He said, then I'm going to make him a helpmeet, meaning I'm going to make a woman to help this man fulfill his purpose. The relationship is not about the woman. The man makes the relationship to include the woman, not God. God's purpose for the woman was for her to be a helpmate. So this woman right here will tell you that she's a black queen and all this stuff. But when she got her nose done, she didn't make her nose big and flat and wide. She didn't make her nose big and wide. She did not unperm her hair. Y'all keep telling me that you don't want to be like white women, but when she had a chance to get surgery, she got all the quote unquote Caucasian features. She didn't get the African nose and the lips. She got the Kardashian look. She got nose, cheeks, chin, lips, breasts, butt, all that done. And for what? And for what? Still talking about racism, still being oppressed, all this stuff, but you living your best life. Walking around in public with the background music of being Sweet Lady. You had your chance to get a big, wide African nose, and you chose to get the white woman's nose. Michael Jackson could have kept his nose and just lightened his skin, but Michael Jackson wanted a small nose. Y'all can say what y'all want to say, but when push comes to shove and y'all get something done, it's always like white people. How come there's no industry for these black folks to get more exaggerated features on their face? Why don't you want a big nose? Why don't you want a wide nose? What's wrong with the wide nose? Oh, okay. Yes, Miss Tiffany, she probably did. She probably did look better. Thank you, Cruise Missile, for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All she wanted to do was stunt. All she wanted to do was stunt. That's it.
Chinese cannot dress the black woman because his vibration is too low to dress you. When they dress you here, you look like 85% of y'all look like hoes, look like prostitutes. And that's not what time it is. You're the goddess, the ultimate goddess of this creation, of this reality. You just need to perfect your self-love and your power will return. Your power is not returning now because you don't resemble yourself in the general population.
Thank you, Will, for the super sticker. Gorilla got bass in her voice. Yes, she does. But you know what's crazy? I actually like Gorilla. I do. I mean, she foolish with the propaganda, but I actually like Gorilla because when I see her interviews, she seemed down to earth. I saw her when she got pulled over that one time. I did it on my show where she passed all the tests and they tried to arrest her anyway. I actually defended Gorilla on that traffic stop. I said because she passed the test and y'all still trying to lock her up. So I said y'all was wrong for that. I actually like Gorilla though. I feel like out of all of them, she's the most genuine. But thank you.
When you're in your right mind, you look like the sun itself. And your projection, your natural hair is the cosmic coil that locks you into the frequencies of the sun. You're a sun goddess. Now it's time, once again, to return to your high place. You got to do the shit you did before you knew self-hate. Before the fall, before you lost your morality, before you lost your virtue.
JV Chanel said, happy Sunday and God bless Blanche. Your breakdown of Kill Bill in your last live was masterful. Kill Bill is one of my favorite movies of all time. Glad to see the dissertation of what a righteous man / righteous woman would look like. Thank you so much, JV Chanel. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now this guy it's always funny when black folks talk about this so-called where they were to where they are now. And they never say it was their fault. Like he's mentioning you was up here, you fell down, you lost your way, but never mentions it's their fault. There's a reason why you lost morality. It's because you didn't have morals. Like, think about it. You can't lose morality unless you chose to not have morals. You can't abandon character unless you choose not to have character. Like, think about what I'm telling you. They make it seem as if somebody came and forced black people to be this way. It's not true. This goes for anybody. He's trying to say that black women were up here, and before they got corrupted, they were somehow, some way, they lost their way. I'm saying the only way to corrupt yourself is to do it voluntarily. Idris Singleton said, Blanche, He said, another masterpiece by you. Iceland has it as a mandate to have an abortion if your baby shows any signs of having Down syndrome or any other issues. It's wrong. That's because women run the country. And I told you all, think about what Idris just said. If Iceland has a mandate to abort all children that have Down syndrome or other issues, I told you all that a woman's nature is like what? The animal kingdom. It's wild, it's savage, it's merciless. I told y'all that. In the wild, if a female animal had some kind of young, and one of the young was weaker or smaller or had something wrong with it, they would kill it. They would kill it. And we find in a civilized society in Iceland where women run it, what are they doing? If any baby is not perfect in our sight, we're gonna kill it. I'm just telling you, that's a woman's nature. That is a woman's nature. And I know that a woman is on her right path when she's able to control her nature, when she's able to articulate how her nature is a sabotaging agent towards her. That's how I know. Thank you, Idris.
Your goodness that's been replaced with vanity, lust, anger, greed, envy, and jealousy. That's the nigga shit you come to overcome. That's not the goddess energy, that's the bitch energy. And that's what comes out of Europeans' mind, the bitch energy. And that's who playbook you've been operating out of for the past 400 years. Here's playbook.
Now imagine you blaming white people because you don't have any character. Think about that. Think about character, which is something that you have to build yourself, that you have to exercise every day. And imagine you saying, I have poor character because of what white people did. Who else on the planet has that excuse? I have poor character. I am a bad person because of what white people did. Think about how insane that is. I'm robbing, stealing, cheating, and killing because of what white folks did. Thank you, Vintage Goods Willie. The chubby checker chicks. He talking about the girls from Alabama State University. Thank you. Thank you, Vintage Goods Willie. Thank you. Khalil Abdul Malik. What's up, Khalil? Sunny is insane. She is insane. But guess what? She runs the household. You're going to find a correlation between when a woman is in charge, just hear me out for a second. What type of character and person is the woman when she is in control? Why are they never good people? Think about what I'm telling you. Why is it when a woman has all the power and control, they're never good women? You give a woman a platform, give her some power, give her some money. Why are they never good women?
Playbook is to make sure you have your babies in jail, to make sure your babies end up in jail, and make sure you got so much weave on your head that you don't have power to protect your children. Because you steeped in vanity and not in your power. You understand what I just said? We need you in your power. I worship the black woman in her right mind. That's who God is for me. We got to start projecting the God.
This man said, I worship the black woman in my right mind. That's who God is for me. This, I almost call him the N-word with the hard ER. This man just said, I worship the black woman in her right mind because that's God to me. Do you understand what this feminist follow Eve spirit, Jezebel spirit thing is doing? He's a Jezebel. I guarantee he's a whoremonger. Like, these men don't have any character. They have no character. No man has any character following a woman. It's impossible. Because women don't demand character. Women don't demand honor and principles. Women don't demand that. Women demand comfort. They demand stability. They demand resources. They don't demand character, honor. They don't respect. They don't demand that. So if any man is following a woman, he is a man of low character. Mano 1135, great show, Bland. Could you please check on your boy Larry from the previous show and see if he has any teeth left in his mouth? Who is Larry? Thank you, Mano. Who is Larry, though? Who is Larry? Anyway, any man following a woman don't have any character.
Energy. Not the bitch energy. We projecting bitch energy. We got to project the goddess energy. Self-love. See what I'm saying? Self-love.
Energy, self-love.
That's the key.
Do you hear that?
Day by day, start to get your clothes, and you're gonna start to appeal to me neck up. When I say me, I like men neck up and not waist down.
Oh, Larry. Larry and was it Ash? The girl's name was Ash. Yeah, Larry and Ash. Oh, yeah. Oh. Larry from the refrigerator incident. Okay, from Lowe's, the guys from Lowe's. Well, y'all know Larry got abused. Larry's still getting beat on. Because that video went viral, and everybody talking about how bad she is. Oh, yeah, Larry done got beat. Yeah. Larry might be in ICU. Right, Larry. Larry might be in ICU.
Neck up, for we wear the crown, not waist down. Your job is not to keep me in a sexual frenzy. Your job is to call up a king.
He shouldn't keep you in a sexual frenzy. Call up a king.
Well, what if you're tapped into your sexual energy?
It's okay, but sexual energy has to transform itself to spiritual energy.
Correct.
Because it's all this.
Now, notice the women was cool with everything he said until he said, appeal to me from the neck up, not the waist down. Your job is to not put me in a sexual frenzy. That's when the women start to object. You know why? Because that's her leverage. She doesn't see leverage in what he's saying about appealing to him from the neck up. She see leverage in her vajayjay. The moment he said, don't appeal to me with your body, your physicality, appeal to me from the neck up, that's when they chimed in, because that is their leverage. Their leverage is what they have down there. Now they got questions. Well, what if you're appealing to the sexual energy then?
Same thing, but it's the attitude and the approach. You see, we're consumed with sexual energy. We're consumed with it, so we can't see us spiritually. We can't be seen. We're invisible. Can't nobody see us because we steep into sexual energy and sexual innuendo. Understand? Your clothes are more modest. Your appeal is neck up and not necessarily waist down. For you wear the crown, the original goddess. We wear the crown. Therefore,
it is blasphemous to praise a woman for just being a woman. It is blasphemous. It is a doctrine from Satan. To praise a woman just because she is a woman is blasphemy, when God's intention for the woman was for her to be a helpmate for the man. Do you know how perverse it is to praise the woman? It's literally going against God's order, literally. God's original order was for the woman to be the helpmate to the man. That's God's original order. Before we got anything else in the Bible, the original order was for the woman to be the helpmate to the man. And this man is saying, worship the woman.
we have a higher standard to live up to. We can't mimic Europeans or Chinese or other people that are inferior to the darkness. We can't mimic these motherfuckers. They're the children of the earth. You're the elders of the earth. You're the mother of all gods. You gave birth to Jesus. You gave birth to Buddha. You gave birth to all the gods. But you forgot to give birth to yourself here of late. Now you.
And just imagine these women eat. This doesn't add, like, just imagine the poison that he's spitting to these women. This is Satan's doctrine. This is Satan's doctrine. You are telling these women they did all these great things and they ain't did nothing. Can't even keep a man. Not a wife. Giving their body up to anybody. Having babies with anybody. Having abortions. These women ain't no goddesses, no queens. Are you crazy? This is the Jezebel spirit, where the man submits his all to a woman. And in the end, she's going to cut his head off, because a woman's nature is not to honor a weak man. A woman's nature is to destroy a weak man and to submit to a strong one. That's her nature, not this foolishness. Shea butter and oils and incense, onks everywhere, and don't know nothing but foolishness.
Who we waiting on? We not waiting on Jesus Christ, period. We waiting on the black woman to return to her integrity, to her truth, which returns her to her ancient magic and her power. We not looking for the weave. We not looking for the spandex. We not looking for none of this nigga shit that's being projected through 85% of our women today. We not looking for none of that nigga shit. But we know who you truly are. And we demand that's who you be. To give black men another reality, then they can probably get their pants up on their ass.
This man just said that we ain't waiting for Jesus. We're waiting for the black woman to return to her original self. And if she returned to her original self, then the black man might pull his pants up. Didn't I tell you all the black man is weak? Now, this man right here is supposed to be the all-knowing, conscious, God of the earth, guru, melanin, huru, all of this, the gods, the Amun-Ra, the Nefertiti, the Osiris, the all the ancient gods, the ankhs, the oils, the trinkets, the amulets, the potions, the incense, the chew sticks, the shea butter, the creams, the black soap, all this stuff. He's the master of all of this stuff. And he just said, for the black man to get right, it's up to the black woman. And y'all be trying to convince me that this man that calls himself a god and a king ain't weak. The black man is weak. This is the problem with the black man. It's because he's looking for the woman to change what's going on, when I just told you that God made the woman to help the man. So the reason why black women are doing what they're doing, the reason why these feminist women are doing what they're doing, is because by design, they are designed to help the man. So if the man doesn't have any purpose, if the man's purpose is chaos and destruction and death, then guess what she's going to do? She's going to be a helpmate to that. When it comes down to it, I don't blame the woman, because I know behind every unruly, out of control woman, there's a man somewhere enabling her. Behind every woman that is reckless and destructive, with no class and no character, there is a man that has aided in the creation of her and is enabling her.
But right now, whether you should give birth to gods, that's what you're giving birth to right there now. Niggas struggling to keep their pants up on their ass. Jeans so tight they cannot run a fucking fat police on crutches. That's what you putting in the game now.
You right.
Straight nigga shit.
You right.
Got me?
Ashe. I accept it.
Ashe. Ashe. We got the power. Ashe. It's up to us, girl. Ashe. Utter foolishness. Utter Ashe, girl. You heard him. It's us, girl. Y'all got to submit to us. That's the problem. Any man that is following a woman is a man of very low character. Before I close out, thank you, Angel Wings. Thank you, Agadas Navi, for moderating. Thank y'all so much. Before I go, and the Lord God took the man and put him into the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. This is Genesis 2, verse 15. So that means that God gave man a purpose. Immediately, God put the man to work. Immediately. Verse 15 again, the Lord God took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and keep it. Verse 16, and the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it, for in the day that thou eatest thereof thou shalt surely die. So not only did he give the man purpose, but with purpose comes what? Responsibility. With purpose comes what? Responsibility. With purpose comes what? Rules, order, structure, principles. That's what comes with purpose. So when God gave the man purpose, he also gave him instructions. He also gave him the keys to not fall into any traps or any snares. Verse 18, the Lord God said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him and help meet for him. So the purpose of a relationship is not for a woman. The purpose for the relationship is the man. It is for the woman to be the helpmeet for the man. As we go down to verse 21, and the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. So the purpose of a relationship is not for a woman. The purpose of the relationship is for the man. It is for the woman to be the helpmeet to the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. So again, Adam said that the man should leave his mother and his father and cleave to the woman to be one flesh. That's what Adam said. God didn't say that. So like I said in the beginning, when the woman honors the man in turn honors her back. Adam didn't say she is to be my helpmate and that's it. Adam honored her by saying, you were taken from me by God, but now we're going to become one flesh. So Adam honored his wife, which is what a righteous man is going to do. This is what they don't want. They don't want people coming together under the eyes of God. They don't want the man to be like Christ was with the church. They don't want the order of Christ, man, woman, child. They don't want that. Because that is the greatest threat to this entire system, is the family, because the family represents God on the earth. Let us make man in our image. And what did they do? He created man and woman, and they became one flesh. The relationship is not about the woman, it is about the man. The man makes the relationship about the woman, not God. The woman honors God through her service to her husband. But the man makes the relationship about the woman. The man leaves his wife, his mother and father to be with the woman. So when your approach towards relationships, stop looking at the relationship as something you're supposed to get. You should be looking for, what man will I honor enough to be his helpmate? What man can I submit to? That's supposed to be your journey. And I'm telling you now, you single women out there, y'all will get a man immediately. You will get a man immediately if you change your attitude towards relationships. If you say, God, I need a man that I can serve. God, I need a man that I can submit to. God, I need a man that I can be a helpmate to. God, I need a man that I can honor you through. I guarantee the man gonna show up. It's no different than Gotham City when they're in trouble and put the bat signal in the air. That's how you get a man. not these other ways. You get a man by submitting and humbling yourself and saying, I want to be of service to this man of God. And I guarantee that man of God is going to literally be like Christ is to the church, literally. Listen, I love you all. And I will see y'all on maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I don't know yet. But listen, I love you all. Thank y'all again. Angel Wings and the Goddess Navi. I love y'all, and I will see y'all soon. Thank you.